Hello! Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to tonight's episode of Poetry Live. Tonight, I am reading Poems in the Waiting Room while Storm, Henry, or Harold, or whatever it is, buffets all of North Yorkshire, including, it seems, the iPad there that just slumped down. Terrible winds outside. Which is why I have hair like this at the moment. Otherwise it would be immaculate. But it's blowing everywhere. No, I'm teasing. But it is really, really bad winds. Anyway, I am here. We're not doing a particular poet tonight. We are doing Poems in the Waiting Room. Which, for those of you who don't know, because I know we've got lots of people from all over the world coming to enjoy poetry, it's a charity in the UK called Poems in the Waiting Room, and what they do is they produce little leaflets and pamphlets of poems that they put in doctors' waiting rooms and hospital waiting rooms all over the country. So while you're sat in there, you know, and you're waiting because things have been delayed or you're waiting for someone, you've got free and easy access to some poems, which I think is a wonderful idea. It's a mega idea. I love the idea of getting more poems into more places. So it's a fabulous idea for a charity, a wonderful thing. Their Twitter is Poems in the WR, Poems in WR. And if you would like to donate to them, you can donate to them, which I recommend doing. There, I don't usually talk about this kind of stuff, but you know, poems. I first discovered them when one of my friends had a really, really bad head injury. That was kind of caused by himself and some heavy drinking. And I remember sitting then and, whilst he was going, slightly concussed, quite happily reading through the poems there. So that's what I'm going to read tonight, the Poems in the Waiting Room. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Welcome everyone, by the way. Hello Roger, hello Black Rabbit, hello Amanda and Danny, hello Wishik, thank you for following. Welcome Wishik. Hello Rosella, hello Taz. And Queen, hello Queen, welcome Queen. Come in guys, come in. I should mention, by the way, a massive thank you to all of you who tweeted at Catch last week to try and get me onto the newsletter. It didn't happen. Unfortunately, I wasn't a Catch pick. It seems, when I went and checked the Catch stream, there was a lady who wasn't wearing any clothes who was scoping in her bathtub, and it's kind of hard to compete against a naked lady in a bathtub. I've got to admit, even I have to just put my hands up at that point and say, fair play. If that's where you're going to do it, you're going to get banned, but it's all good. Hello, Clockwork. I didn't see you come in there. But thank you so much for doing it anyway. The fact that you guys cared enough to do it meant more than actually getting it in the first place. The Dr. Bronner's people really liked it, which made me happy. The Dr. Bronner's people liked the show that we did last week. You guys liked it. And honestly, you guys liking it means more to me than Cats liking it. But there we go. I want to say a massive, massive thank you to you. Thank you. Anyway, let's get started with some poems from the waiting room tonight, shall we? Precisely, and especially if you're in the bath, if you're actually in the bath, what better opportunity is there to read poems about soap and shampoo? I mean, come on, it's a no-brainer. Get in the bath and read poems about that. I could, and the difference is, Taz, the difference is, there's a very big difference between having pasty, let's face it, very sedentary me sitting in a bath, showing the world that the last time I did any heavy exercise was when I had to run through Borders, getting all the books that I wanted in their closing down sale. Having a young, pretty girl in the bath is it's a different thing. Candles help. I like a candle in the bath, actually, Queen. On a Sunday, candle, nice book in the bath, some foam. It's good. I just wouldn't scope about it. I'm enjoying that. No one else would enjoy that. Excellent, Clockwork. I hope you enjoyed doing it there. No, 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 not Steam. Not Steam, Danny. Not Steam. Steam doesn't work because you've got books in there. You don't want Steam with the books. You just want to sit there with the candles, going, read some Umberto Eco. It's all good. That's what I'm talking about in the bath. It's not sexy. It's not going to bring people in, but it's what I do. And now I've spoken far too much about my bath habits, I think. Roger, I'm a shower guy 6 days of the week, but on a Sunday, I like having a bath and being able to read a book in there because I'm not tempted to use technology or do anything else. It's just me and the bath and the book. No, you didn't miss the reading. You didn't miss the reading at all. It's about to start. I shall stop whittering on about what I do in the bath and why it wouldn't make the best scope in the world. But you guys are the best audience in the world. That's the important thing. Me in the bath is not the best scope, but you guys are the best audience a scope could have. Anyway, enough flattering you. No, right, we should get into it. I think we've exhausted the amount of conversation that can be had about what I do in bubbles on a Sunday. That's been taken care of. It's been done. Let's get into our first poem of the night. I am going to read some Christina Rossetti, ladies and gents. This is a green cornfield. The earth was green, the sky was blue, I saw and heard one sunny morn. A skylark hang between the two, a singing speck above the corn. A stage below in gay accord, white butterflies danced on the wing, and still the singing skylark soared, and silent sank, and soared to sing. The cornfield stretched the tender green to right and left beside my walks. I knew he had a nest unseen somewhere among the million stalks. And as I paused to hear his song, while swift the sunny moments slid, perhaps his mate sat, listening long, and listened longer than I did. There, a green cornfield by Christina Rossetti, musing on the skylark there, which reminds me of two things. One is, of course, Vaughan Williams' The Lark Ascending, which is a very, very nice piece of music. But the second, which is something that I should really write a poem about, is an old story that my Nana told me. My Nana told me a story about when she was dating my granddad years and years ago. Decades ago. God, a long, long time ago. I won't say how many decades. Let's just leave it at that. But apparently, they were off walking through the countryside. And my granddad likes to joke around. And my granddad loves to tell stories. My granddad was the one who taught me how to tell a story in the first place. So big ups to your granddad. In fact, I've got a picture of him on my desk randomly. That's my granddad. That's granddad teaching Simon how to tell a story. Anyway, granddad, when he was walking along, he claimed to my Nana that there was a magic way, ladies and gents, that you could find the nest of a skylark because they put their nests on the ground. And he told her that you had to start off by the electric pylons and that you had to walk so many paces straight forward and then so many paces left and then so many paces right and then straight forward again. And if you look down, then you would find a skylark's nest. And so she challenged him to do it. And he went and he did it. And guess what, ladies and gents, the best part of the story? The part that proves that my granddad is ever so slightly magical. When he looked down in front of him, there was a skylark's nest. There was actually a skylark's nest in the ground, exactly where he thought there might be one, by just him making up. There you go, ladies and gents. My granddad on skylarks. Sometimes, if you tell a story well, if you believe it enough, and if there's enough magic in your story, magic will actually take place. Yeah. Anyway, the next poem, ladies and gents, is Rainfall by Emily Pauline Johnson. From out the west, where darkling storm clouds float, the waking wind piped soft its rising note. From out the west, o'erhung with fringes grey, the wind preludes with sighs its round lay. Then blowing, singing, and piping, laughing loud, it scurries on before the grey storm cloud. Across the hollow and along the hill it whips and whirls among the maples, till with boughs upbent and green of leaves blown wide, the silver shines upon their underside. A gusty freshening of humid air, with showers laden and with fragrance rare. And now a little sprinkle with a dash of great cool drops that fall with sudden splash. Then over field and hollow grass and grain, the loud crisp whiteness of the nearing rain. I don't know this author either. In fact, this isn't the type of stuff that I usually read. It's what I call it's very pastoral. I don't usually go for pastoral poem, but I thought I'd read this stuff anyway. Because it's here. And because we should read different forms of poems and new poems and experience new things. Why not, ladies and gents? That's what makes the world go round. Anyway, that was Rainfall by Emily Pauline Johnson. Good, I'm glad you're enjoying it. That makes me happy. If you're enjoying it, then I am happy, Jackie. I am smiling like a maniac. The third poem that I'm going to read. He did. Well, Christina Rossetti is a wonderful poet. A wonderful, wonderful poet. And actually, I like that idea, the skylark. Even though we're enjoying it, the skylark being more in love with the sound than we are. This one, though, is October's bright blue weather. O suns and skies and clouds of June, and the flowers of June together, you cannot rival for 1 hour October's bright blue weather. When loud the bumblebee makes haste, belated, thriftless, vagrant, and goldenrod is dying fast, and lanes with grapes are fragrant. When gentians roll their fringes tight to save them for the morning, and chestnuts fall from satin burrs without a sound of warning. When on the ground red apples lie in piles like jewels shining, and redder still on old stone walls are leaves of woodbine twining. When all the lovely wayside things their white-winged seeds are sowing, and in the fields still green and fair late aftermaths are growing. When springs run low, and on the brooks in idle golden freighting bright leaves sink noiseless in the hush of woods for winter waiting. When comrades seek sweet country haunts by twos and twos together, and count like misers hour by hour October's bright blue weather. O suns and skies and the flowers of June, count all your boasts together. Love loveth best of all the year October's bright blue weather. And that, ladies and gents, was by Helen Hunt Jackson. Clearly a woman who had a special love for the romance of October. And yes, I don't think Oktoberfest was running in the 1800s. It is a wonderful world, isn't it, Frank? Isn't it just good? Well, I think that's the nice thing about pastoral poetry. It's meant to take you into that moment, into the seasons, into the country, and the poet's recollections or feelings towards it. October. Yeah, I think October's quite nice. I'm looking forward to the summer at the moment. I'm looking I would like a bit of light in my days, and a bit of sun if it wouldn't bother the weather gods too much. Yeah, if it wouldn't bother them too much, then I'll take that. Anyway. Was it? I didn't realise Oktoberfest was to celebrate the engagement of some nobles. I just thought it was a massive beer and roller coasters thing. I never knew that. I have learnt something new, which is wonderful. Less rain would be wonderful at the moment. Anyway, this next poem is They Are Starlings by Eve Jackson. They are polished blue bottles, tinge of cinnamon, oozle speckled lustre struck. They swamp silence, abuse calm, comedians full of charm, all clutter and creak and whistles. They fluster up into evening sheen, hoisted high above a day's restlessness. They are tight-knit, poured with intent into bottleneck and out again, to muscular generosity, slick as an otter's twist. They descend into beaded threads, braid of plaits jet black and shook loose onto bird flight. They whittle light litter down from sky space to roof or tree. It's a wonderful evocation of starlings. I love that oozle speckle the lustre struck description. I'm quite fond of that poem. That's very, very nice. I enjoyed that. And yes, Frank, I am in need of a razor today. I would accept the razor. But it always grows back is the problem. It always grows back. So what's the point? What's the point of shaving it when it always grows back? That's my question. What's the point? I think we have to just give up now. Yes! Slick as an otter's twist. They swamp silence, abuse calm, comedians full of charm. It really is a wonderful, wonderful play on language and sound and the shape and taste of it in your mouth. I shall have to read some more Eve Jackson. I hadn't known Eve Jackson before doing it. But we'll do it. I've heard waxing works, clockwork. Waxing, I've told, works well for keeping it away for longer. But I'm a wimp, so that's not going to happen. This next one, and last one, ladies and gents, our last poem of the evening, is Something Told the Wild Geese. Something told the wild geese it was time to go. Though the fields lay golden, something whispered, snow. Leaves were green and stirring, berries lustre glossed, but beneath warm feathers something cautioned, frost. All the sagging orchard steamed with amber spice, but each wild breast stiffened at remembered ice. Something told the wild geese it was time to fly. Summer sun was on their wings, winter in their cry. And that, ladies and gents, was Something Told the Wild Geese by Rachel Field. Our final poem for the evening from this wonderful little pamphlet of Poems in the Waiting Room, from the Poems in the Waiting Room charity. And for those of you who missed the opening, Poems in the Waiting Room are the folk who put little leaflets of poetry in our waiting rooms in England, which is wonderful. Frank! Very well, I shall do that, Frank. I will watch your piano replay. I will, Frank. I will. I'm looking forward to it. It is a wonderful idea. They're very pastoral poems. They're nature-focused poems, which it's quite a nice thing. I promise, Frank. I pinky promise, Frank. I will do it. I've got some websitey stuff to do, and I will watch it at the same time, which will be a nice relax for me, so I will. But thank you so much. Excellent. I love a bit of Simon and Garfunkel. What do you do? What Simon and Garfunkel do you do, Frank? I'm quite partial to it with Homeward Bound, actually. Hazy Shade of Winter also. What are you going for? I don't know why they picked, why the editor... Oh, I like The Boxer. I like The Boxer. I will enjoy watching The Boxer. I'm not sure why the editor Helen picked pastoral poems. I assume because they're quite easy to read. They're quite accessible and engageable for people. You don't need to particularly love poetry or have an understanding of some of the complex elements of poetry. You can relate to them, and of course they're quite nice and soothing. And I imagine if you are in there with a serious ailment or you're particularly worried about a loved one, the purpose is to set your mind at ease, which is possibly the reason for it. Oh, I like the sound of silence. You're going to put me in a Simon and Garfunkel mood all evening, Frank, which is a good thing, which is a very good thing, which I'm looking forward to. But I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came out tonight. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Black Rabbit and Marabont. Thank you, Danny and Maxwell. Thank you, Rosella and Taz and Queen and Clockwork, Jackie and Raphael and Frank. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I'm going to say good night to you for this evening. I love you guys too. And I will see you again tomorrow for more wonderful poems. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. It's wonderful to see you again on a Monday. Wonderful to be back into doing this. Let's have a great week. Bye-bye.